Good morning and welcome to SimWorld today on July 16th. I am Marsh, joined in the booth by none other than Sniperrr J. Good morning, Sniperrr. How are you?
Top of the morning to you. I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. We get to continue our little series that we got going here of picking teams, top three teams in each conference as we approach the upcoming season. We're moving on to the American Conference today after we did the ACC last week, in which I apparently struck a nerve with folks by taking Syracuse and really liking Duke and enjoying Miami's chance on there. And then remind me, you had Miami on that list, you had Florida State, and then you had Louisville, right? That was your three teams. Okay, so we're moving to the American Conference, which I think we might agree on the top two, Sniper. I think we might.
I
But
hope.
let's. You don't think so? Oh, okay. Let's start. Let's get it. Let's start with number three. Who's your number three team contender this coming season?
Oh, that's easy one for me. Jackson State. They got
Okay.
D Woodley coming back. They got a phenomenal guard in Jay Medora coming in. So mentor, young person. I'm expecting him to pick up things quick, and they become a dynamic duo in this American Conference. This team showed that they could win at a high level last year. They made it to Hoopsteria. They didn't go far, but they had the toughness, the greenness, and I like Coach Mo Williams at the helm of this team, and I like what they're building there. So I think they're going to keep climbing the ranks in the American Conference until they're a household name.
So I don't. I think Jackson State's going to be in the running. Um, they've got. I think it's going to be. I think was I talking to you about this? I talk with a lot of people, so I always forget who I'm talking to. But the question of, Jay Midoriya, D Woodley, that who's going to be the number one, who's not going to be the number one. I don't. I don't know that Jay Midoriya is the better player right now than D Woodley, but
Right.
he's coming in and he's going to want to prove it. And I don't think he's far behind D Woodley. And so I think there's a big question mark. I'm a little nervous for Jackson State about when does this get a little dicey around D Woodley, because he came back, surprised many people, and I think you have him as a second round grade. Am I correct in that? You think he's a second round
Yeah,
pick?
second round, late second round at this point.
So, he's coming in as a second rounder. He's going to want to prove that he's not a second rounder. And
Right.
the way to prove that is with the basketball in his hand. I'm a little nervous that his belief in that could be detrimental in the long run.
Well, I would say this. I think that Jay Midoriya is a young man who understands the game of basketball at a very high level. So I think he's going to come in and he's going to take mentorship from D Woodley, and that will leave D Woodley to be a mentor. And then when D Woodley is not feeling it or D Woodley has to go to the bench, that's when Jay Midoriya will have his chance to prove he can lead a team. He can score the ball at a high level. But until then, it's kind of D Woodley's team. You have to accept that coming into the role. Now, I know Jay probably doesn't like that, but it's just gonna have. It's just what it's gonna be for this year for him. And then he has another year to really prove himself and go ahead and be a lottery pick if he can make it that far or something like that. But for right now, he's in a learning stage. So just learn behind an excellent leader and scorer in D Woodley.
Look, D Woodley's going to put up big numbers. He averaged 20 points a game last season. People are going to love what they see out of his numbers. I think this is the last season before D Woodley's playing in like the NBL down in Australia or EuroLeague. Um, he's awesome. He's an awesome scorer, but that portfolio, that profile doesn't really lend itself at 5'11" to the next level. Here's my number three team, and let me start by saying this before I even get into it, because I think we're gonna agree on number one and two. I think, but if you look at the top four last season in the
Mhm.
American, 12-2 Memphis, they were head and shoulders above everybody until they lost to Jackson State in the conference championship game. Jackson State was 9-5 in the regular season. They end up 10-5 because they beat Memphis there. Princeton 9-5, Houston 9-5, Wichita State 8-6, SMU 7-8, and then Davidson at 6-8, kind of down below. The top of the American was very, very competitive, regardless of regular season records. Wichita State wasn't that good, 12-20, but the top of the conference was really good. And so, with that in mind, and with a new coach in mind, my number three team is the Houston Cougars. And They've been my team that I think can win the American for the last 3 seasons, and they have 2 seasons, and they have failed to deliver on that. But this is a team that is in need of a change at top. They finally got that change. Moving on and bringing in Tim Schumacher. This team has a lot of talent between Freddie Stonewall, Aji Fejbenle, Abraham Kasango. This is a good basketball team. Or not Abraham, I'm sorry, Derek Long in the front court. And then Kola Abdul-Rauf. This is a very good Houston team that has not put it together. And I'm not saying that this was on coaching, but I think a change of face, a change of policy, and with the talent that's there in Houston, I'm very high on.
I'm very low on Houston.
You're very low on Houston. Okay. Opposite sides.
You're not going to find a good role model or a better motivator than the coach they had before this. He's a Hall of Fame type of coach.
You're right. You're right.
This new guy, Tim, I don't want to butcher his name.
Schumacher.
Yeah, Schumacher. First off, I've been through this with you once, March. He has to win over the locker room. Then he has to win over the university, then the boosters, and then he has to actually win in a tough American Conference. It's not happening this year. He's going to get 2 out of the 4. He's going to get 50% this year. And then the next year, he go focus on the other 50%. He can't have all 4 this year.
I think it's winning over the locker room. But if the talent that's in Houston and the lack of utilization of that talent is the biggest question mark of this program.
But what makes you think he's going to be able to utilize this talent? If Kelvin Sampson couldn't get these guys to work with him, what do you think Tim from across the street's going to do?
From H&R Block? I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying I'm the guy that's here to lead this group in a way that Sampson couldn't. I'm just saying Freddie Stonewall's a really, really good creator with the basketball.
Okay.
Aji Fejbenle is a very versatile defensive wing. Kola Abdul-Rauf had a down season, but I think can be improved. I'm saying the bones of this, and Sniperrr, they're building off a season in which they went 9-5 and were a game away from making the conference championship game. And I'm talking about number 3. I'm not saying this is my number 1.
I know, but the American Conference is such a tough conference. Like we're talking about, it's getting better this year. And last year they barely made it out the first half of it. We were talking about Houston like Syracuse. Be honest.
We were. Exactly. We were spot on. They were 3-12 in non-conference play. It was terrible. I mean, but see, that's the question. So you're talking about, okay, how can you get better than Kelvin Sampson? I mean, he won 14-17 last season. It's not a high bar. I mean, look, I respect the coach, Sniperrr. I respect the coach and the legacy. He is a Hall of Fame coach. But the production last season was not a Hall of Fame production. I mean, it's not like this team went 30-5, and it's like, but they didn't win the conference championship game. They went 14-17. They didn't really have that much better of a season because of their coach.
So you're saying you're expecting this Tim from H&R Block, no offense to Tim. Tim's a good guy. We're just talking here. But I don't see him having a better season, even though they had a terrible season last year. It's just hard to come by. Like you're asking this guy to walk into these big old size 17 shoes, where a team that has history of good basketball, and just because they had a couple bad years under their Hall of Fame coach, you think that the new guy's gonna come in and fix everything? Like he's gonna be the Band-Aid that patches up this bullet hole?
Somebody has to follow a Hall of Fame coach. You look at Duke. John Shire had to follow Coach K.
No, that's different.
But it's a new coach coming in. It's the same thing in North Carolina. Somebody had to follow, and they won a national championship.
These guys played at the high level. John Shire played at Duke. He was in the NBA.
Maybe we don't know. Maybe Tim Schumacher was out here ripping up in the NBL, and he's about to tell D. Woodley what it's like to play down in Australia, play for the Adelaide 76 or the 36ers.
If you're listening to me, if you're listening to this, send me your resume, and I will make a Sniperrr snippet, sure enough, and apologize to you. But I don't see it.
I'm just saying, you're going from a team that won 14 games last year, they're in the same boat as Wichita State, they're in a worse boat than Davidson. Same boat as Temple in terms of non-conference play. They were not good in non-conference play. So the bar, to be clear, is not high. What's your number 2 team?
Number 2, I'm going Memphis.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm not taking them number one. They proved last year that they're not a number one team. I don't think things are gonna change this much this year. Yes, Outlaw is coming back from the draft. Yes, he's confident. Yes, he's gonna be their leading scorer. But I'm still not sure about the people around him. Therefore, he's gonna carry them all the way to the championship and lose again. They're gonna be number two this year.
They are also my number two team, for the exact same reasons. Lacedarius Outlaw is awesome. I mean, he should have been a lottery pick. Whoever, they must have got him a fat VIL deal for him to go back to Memphis, and pass up that, or it's just criminally terrible agency work to say you should go back to college.
The media said he said there was unfinished business at Memphis.
That's, yeah, the unfinished business is the check hadn't cashed on his VIL deal. That's the unfinished business. He was waiting for
At the
that to come
Western
through.
Union.
Yeah, he's like, hey, come on now. I thought this money was gonna be in here. That's the unfinished business because there's no way anybody who doesn't get a massive, and hey, let's think about Memphis here for a second, Sniper. Not a team that's devoid of controversy in this current regime in Memphis. So it's a program that's not afraid to, let's say, toe the line with Penny
Yeah,
Hardaway at the helm.
1%.
Bring on
1%.
back big money.
Pay him his money, and then Penny, with his name alone, could probably get him back to where he wants to go.
And
Now,
so,
I mean, that's not a bad idea when I think about it.
see, this is why he had unfinished business. He needed the money to come in and get back up. So I think Lacedarius Outlaw could do it, but and I said this about talking with Rico yesterday. Like Outlaw as a basketball player, really good basketball player, but he hasn't proven he can play off the ball. And I'm not saying that he needs to prove that. That's just he hasn't shown that ability. But there's not really any piece here on the Memphis squad that has proven that they can be the number one. And so I think there's a very real risk factor for Memphis if Lacedarius, which that was the conversation all of last season, walking into the championship game against Jackson State. Yes, Lacedarius Outlaw is great, but what happens if he's not fantastic? What if he's not elite?
They're done.
Just those small, like his margin for error is so small, and I don't know, I don't know that Kai Banks or Belmont or Joshua Belmont add that as a freshman. I don't think Adrian Schultz adds that as a freshman, and I don't think Kenneth Klum or Deontay Joyce, they're two second leading scorers last season, and Darian Banks, they're good basketball players, but they're not SWBA caliber, and I think that's this type of secondary piece that Memphis needs to be head and shoulders above the rest of the conference.
Couldn't agree more. I hope that Penny and his staff is working on some of these guys to elevate their offensive paralysis and help this young man. But if not, I got him at number two right now. But early in the season, if I don't see any help, this conference is too deep for them to be for just to have one man. They might fall to sixth or seventh.
Ooh, that would be surprising. Who do you have number one? I'm very curious if we're gonna match up here.
This is SMU.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
let's spot on.
there's no question. It's Cam Jones. It's Duval. It's Barry. They got a really good team. They got a lot of good pieces. They got the big man in the middle, Maury Washington. What more can you ask? They were all freshmen last year. I'm not. They went extremely far in hoops theory. If you don't pick this team number one, you're. I can't say that. You're
You're
you're not the
foolish.
smartest person.
You're
Yeah, you're not the.
foolish. Um, so I agree with you that SMU is number one. They also had Barkley James, who I
Yep.
think Barkley James is the better of the three James brothers right now. So you've got two guys on this roster because McAllen Duval. Let's not sleep on. Everyone wanted to talk. Oh, we got bubbles on the screen. I didn't.
There we go.
I don't
I'm
know
not mad
what.
about that.
I don't know what.
It's the SMU. They're going to win the championship.
Yeah, we got the balloons are already flowing. So McAllen Duval, everyone wanted to talk Cam Jones, rightfully so. I mean, Cam Jones had a great season, 12 and a half, shot 39% from deep. By the way, McAllen Duval scored 16 points, shot 46% from deep, 47% from the floor, 81% from the free throw line. Had a awesome freshman year, and you're adding Barkley James to that mix. Now, let me play devil's advocate since we're both just kind of riding the Cam Jones, SMU, McAllen Duval train right now. They weren't a good basketball team during the regular season. Their regular season record was 19-16 at the end of the year. Like, that's good. It's good. They were a 7 seed. They were top 25 team, kind of up and down, but they didn't play well in conference. And the ride of this team was that 6-game winning streak or 5-game winning streak that got them to the national championship, or I guess 4 because it got them to the quad. And now your best new addition, Barkley James, is a 6'3" guard, and so you're likely gonna start. I have to assume you're starting a 6'1" McCallum Duvall, a 6'3" Cam Jones, and a 6'3" Barkley James. I'm not putting one of them on the bench. I don't know that any of them proved that they should come off the bench, but that makes you a very small team in the backcourt that can survive in college basketball. But I do think that's something that is concerning for this coming season if you're trying to look at, well, what are we not thinking about with SMU?
I'm sure they go that route. I
So
think they do make
who
James
comes off
come
the
off
bench? Barkley. You're
James,
making
the
Barkley
freshman.
James.
Yes, I think they're gonna make him come off the bench. He's gonna have to take that role of hey, young fella, it's your time to learn, listen to how things go, pick up this winning culture, and be ready to get the baton passed to you and carry this team
But
for the next.
Barkley James is a sophomore, right? So he did this a year ago at Auburn. I
Right.
mean, he was the number one team for a team that finished final top 25 rankings before the tournament was 22nd.
But they didn't win. He's not a winner. That's what I'm saying. Everybody talks about these
That's
transfers. This,
winning.
them.
17 and 15, 9 and 5 in the SEC. That's the fourth best record in the SEC. That's not winning.
Perfect, perfect for the SEC. But we'll come to SMU, who went to the quad.
The American is better than the SEC now.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying this team went to the
Yeah.
quad. This team went to the quad. The SEC is a more stacked conference. It's competitive throughout the season, but SMU went to the quad. You can't measure that up at any other school.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
went to the
Houston.
quad because Iowa steamrolled Auburn in the second round. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get to SMU's run. SMU played Arkansas, tough win. They got that one. The lowest possible seed they could have played in the second round, which is Oklahoma, St. Mary's, and then beat a talented Louisville team. I mean, Iowa just beat a Houston team that I think is apparently pretty good, and then Iowa. So, and then lost Iowa. I don't know that Barkley James comes off the bench. I don't think that that's the guy you bring up. I think you say,
So they're
screw
gonna
this,
move
let's
Cam
go
Jones
3.
to 3. Cam Jones is gonna be a 3.
Cam Jones or Barkley James. One of the two. And I don't even know if that's that bad considering the rest of the American Conference. Like, is there a wing in the American Conference that you're really concerned about? Memphis doesn't have one. Jackson State's going to play Jay Midoriya and D. Woodley, and D. Woodley's 5'11". Princeton doesn't. Houston has wings, but they're more defensive wings. Davidson, Benari James, that's your
It
big
might
concern
work.
there.
It might work, but then who comes off the bench for this team? See, that's the
Well,
thing. That's one
that's
thing
not
I
my
was so
problem to figure
hard
out.
on this team about is that their ability to have different pieces and different roles. That's how they won last year. Not everybody was the man. Not everybody was Cam Jones. Not everybody was Moy Washington. Not everybody was Duval.
So
And now you put all these guys on the court at one time and say, "Hey, here's the SimWorld basketball. Share it, win." I don't think it's gonna happen like that.
so their rotation last season, because they started 5 sophomores, right?
Yep.
They had their backcourt was Cam Jones 6'3", McCallum Duvall 6'1". At the forward position, they had 6'10" Deshaun Corbin. Down underneath, they had the 6'10" Maury Washington, and then
Right.
the other guy that they had playing at the 3, 6'4" Torian Lane. They didn't play ultra large
And
last
he's
season.
still there. So,
So what? But I'm
so you
saying, but I'm
going
saying,
to lose his spot.
I mean, if you're looking at somebody to do it, that's the problem. You win the headline of adding a piece. Somebody's minutes are coming down, and I think it's probably Torian Lane, a guy that shot 42%, had the most third most made threes on the season, had the second best 3-point shot on the season. I think that what this is going to become for Rob Lanier is a team that really has to stagger minutes. And you're going to stagger the minutes of Duval, Barkley, and Cam Jones. And you're going to say our second unit, honestly, is maybe the backcourt. So you're leaving 6'4" Torian Lane in there as the starting 3?
I think he should start the year as the starting three because he took him to the quad. He is a Mustang through in and throughout. Berkeley James is not.
So
And
Barkley
and,
comes
and
off the
if
bench
he
here.
plays bad, if he plays bad, we got to do it like it's the SEC. If he plays bad, okay, your spot's going.
I'm glad I don't have to make that decision. I would be shocked if Barkley James is the one that comes
A
off the
hard
bench.
decision. It's not. It's not. You roll with the guys that got you where you were last year. Loyalty.
I'm not saying that's the wrong case to be made. I'm just saying that's takes a lot of stones to convince somebody to and keep in mind this. There's a perception thing to this, right? A perception thing of Barkley James. You left the SEC and you can't even start on a team in the American Conference, regardless of where they made the quad. I get it. So did Xavier, but we're not sitting here saying that Xavier's the second best team. So did Xavier. Are we in love with Xavier right now?
No, Xavier's gonna be bottom of conference. We're not talking about them right now.
But they went to the quad. They went to the quad, Sniper. They went to the national championship game, Sniper.
This team is young. They had experience. It's like yin and yang we're talking about here. This team, bro, come on. They went to the quad. You're joining a team that went to the quad.
So
You're not
did
just gonna walk out there
Xavier.
and start.
So did Xavier. Xavier made it to the quad, and I don't see anybody saying that their starting five should be brought back. And well, it can't be. They lost some pieces to the SWBA, but it's a question mark. But we do agree. So recap: you've got at number 3, you've got the Jackson State. Thank you. You have Jackson State. I have Houston as number 3, and then we agreed on both 2 and 1. Memphis at number 2, SMU at number 1, even if our rotations might look a little bit different for the SMU Tigers. All right, that is Sniper J. Appreciate you all tuning in here. We'll be back tomorrow morning on SimWorld TV. Only place you can see the game, be the game.